Hello, eco nerds of the internet. It is me, Brandon Hart, the ECOstruder, and you know, I wanted to come up with a really good basis for this video and make it really clever and interesting, but ultimately I just want to tell you about a bunch of cool eco-friendly stuff that I've been working with, and so we're just going to run through it. Right on. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll kind of work our way from my right to my left, your left to your right, I believe. Yeah, that sounds good. The first thing is not necessarily a new material. This is Polymaker's Terra PLA, and it has been something that has been selling in our shop for quite some time, and it has always had this sort of, I don't know, unsubstantiated claim of being more eco-friendly than your typical PLA. So that's great. It comes on cardboard spools, cardboard boxes. Supposedly it has some stuff in it that makes it more biodegradable, but ultimately we don't really know. It's just PLA, so it's probably not a whole lot better. So I had a customer who printed some parts, and he informed me that he had some issues with it because he put it in his fish tank, essentially, and the material started to break down, which for him was a problem. For me, that is awesome, because that shows just how biodegradable this particular material is. It's marine biodegradable, if that counts as a fish tank. But you can see that like the microbes in the water and the algae and stuff like that were full on attacking this material and breaking it down to the point where, I mean, it really has been degrading quite a lot. So I think this is super cool. I love seeing this. So I asked him to bring it in, and he dropped it off here. So this is a part that spent less than a year. I think it was only a few months really in a fish tank, and you can see how much it has degraded already. So kudos to Polymaker for actually making a legitimate biodegradable PLA. Really, really cool stuff. Cool, that's the first thing. Second thing is I found some interesting materials out there on the interwebs from some of the folks over at Braskem 3D. They have since rebranded their filament line as ECOstruder, so you might know them by either one of those names. But I picked up a couple things a little while ago. The first of these is what they call Bio-EVA, and it comes on a plastic spool, so we have to acknowledge that first of all. It is a disassemblable spool. Not sure that helps, but anyway, it is a plastic spool, but this is a plant-based flexible material. And if you've ever looked into eco-friendly options for flexible materials, you'll know that there's not a whole lot out there. This stuff is a little challenging to print with. You can see that was my first attempt. I got a little ambitious. There was very little contact with the build plate, and you know, it came loose. And then did another one here, sort of a little simpler design that had the circle around it, so hopefully it would stay down a little bit better, but it did warp up a little bit. And after making a couple of changes to the slicing settings and putting down Magigoo PPGF bed adhesive, which was an interesting bed adhesive to use for a flexible material, it stayed down very nicely. Everything printed really, really well, and this is a kind of, you know, squishy, compressible, flexible, somewhat flexible, bendable maybe, material here that is fully bio-based, plant-based. So that's awesome. Really cool stuff there from Braskem ECOstruder. We do not sell this stuff here, at least currently, as of the filming of this video, but it is cool stuff you can find out there. They also have this polyethylene, which is also a plant-based material. Now, this is still in the bag, still has that plastic spool. I have not actually printed with this. looking forward to trying it out. But just a quick shout out there for the polyethylene material in addition to the EVA material, both of which I've not printed with before until just trying them out now. So cool stuff over here as well. Right here in the middle, this is a company that you're probably familiar with. We've been working with them for quite some time. I think I actually did an ECOstruder video on the original Kickstarter campaign for Reflow filament when they were making recycled PETG as their very first material. And that's on this channel here. Go back in time, or I'm sure maybe, I don't know, there's a link somewhere to watch that. But that was when I was making videos from my basement and super low budget and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, fast forward a number of years. We've been working with them. We sell their products in the shop here, but they came out with a new material that has an even better story than recycling, you know, plastic bottles and water bottles and stuff into filament or food packaging into PLA. This is a material called Ocean Recycled Polypropylene Glass Fiber, or for those of you who like acronyms, this is Ocean RPPGF. So RPPGF is actually not only a recycled material, it is a recycled material that is made from recycled fishing nets and fishing ropes that are polypropylene based. They originally don't have the glass fiber in there. They added the glass fiber in as a way of making polypropylene a little bit more printable, especially a type of polypropylene that's not based, you know, not developed specifically or engineered specifically for 3D printing. But that stuff is really, really cool. It prints quite well as long as you print it on the right surface. It took us a lot of experimenting, a lot of trial and error to be able to print, you know, nice parts like this, because polypropylene is just not a friendly material to print with. Even with the glass fiber reinforcement, it is a challenge. But we have found that a combination of either putting packing tape down or using a original build tack plate with the build tack polypropylene specific build tack bond adhesive on it holds everything down really, really nicely. So for what it's worth, the HeartSmart Products HSP1i now has that build plate option. So you can swap out the build plate and use the build tack bond on the build tack original surface as one of the magnetic flex plates that comes with that machine, and you can print polypropylene on that system. That seems to be the best way to print polypropylene, and specifically this Ocean recycled polypropylene glass fiber reinforced filament that comes from fishing nets and fishing ropes. So nice engineering grade material there. Okay, last, maybe I saved the best for last, you decide, but I have been printing a lot since the PHA video that I did a little while ago. I've been printing a lot with a different brand of PHA than what I had showcased in that video, that brand being Beyond Plastic. Beyond Plastic, I didn't know about these guys. I think they're a relatively new company. I only became aware of them because they posted in the comments on that video. So see what happens when you post in the ECOstruder comments? You could get showcased on the channel. But Beyond Plastic makes a PHA material, and this is a 100% PHA material, much like the ColorFab Alpha was. Main difference between this and the ColorFab Alpha is this stuff prints really well. They also make both a standard rigid version of their PHA, so this kind of thing right here, as well as a flex version of the PHA, which you can see, yeah, it's mildly flexible. It's not super flexible. As you can see, I printed in the flex PHA here and went to go see how much it would bend and snapped it right off. So it is semi-flexible. This is one of my favorite prints that I've done so far. This is printed in the Flex PHA. So this is an articulated skeleton, and I think it's just super, super cool. So a PHA that actually prints really well, and they're coming out in lots of different colors of the PHA as well. So now you can use it as a substitute for normal PLA, but you have a material that is fully biodegradable. They've been doing a lot of research, working with a lot of scientists to make sure that the biodegradability is as good as promised and will actually live up to the guarantee of it fully going back into nature once it is done. So there we go. Those are some of the materials that I have been working with recently. Always drawn to trying out new eco-friendly materials, even if they're a little hard to print, even if they're sort of a unique material I hadn't even heard of before. Experimenting around with what happens after you're done printing with them and things like that. So some of the stuff we sell, some of it we don't, but all of it is cool. So I'll just leave you with that. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave us a like, leave us a thumbs up, ring the bell to be notified. So when new content like this hits the channel, you're aware of it and can jump on that right away. Leave some thoughts in the comments. Again, that's how we find out about some of these things. So it's super, super helpful for everybody to let us know things that we should be looking at, things we should be checking out. And with that, I will just say thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Have fun printing.